Hi everybody, Renegade68 here with some more Let's Play Persona 4 Golden Blind. You probably noticed the date, so you know what day this is. And you probably read the video title, because I think I know what I'm going to call this one. Yeah, so I didn't get it, now I'm going to get it. Although, before that, there's a couple things I want to mention. First of all, something I didn't mention in the credits when I was talking about complaints, although this isn't really a complaint, it's more a confused, huh? The other school, we went to that other school for a little bit. We ran into that character whose name escapes me, but she was voiced by the same person who voices Akane from Danganronpa. She ended up doing nothing. She was there for literally one scene. Why give her a portrait and everything if that's the case? I'm wondering if this golden ending she'll be included, or if the extra thing they're gonna have her. I mean, why have her as a character if there's nothing to do with her? I know there's like a social link I never got. I'm pretty sure there's at least one. Tower. Maybe that's with her and I just never triggered it. I have to assume, because it seems weird that they'd make her a character and then have her show up in literally one scene. But we'll find out. So yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to figure this out on your own, how to get the golden ending, but basically, my last save point was before Valentine's Day, so I had to do that again, I had to talk with everybody again, you know, and then after you've talked with everybody, after you've chatted up all your friends, you're supposed to go to the Junes food court, and then somehow that triggers the golden ending. I'm not sure why, that's all I know. Hopefully there's not something else I have to do, and I missed that too, but from what I read, I don't think there's anything else I have to do. I think that's supposed to be the only requirement. From there, it's a linear path to the golden ending. Actually, it did say you get the true ending if you haven't maxed Mary's social link. You get the golden ending if you have. I'm not sure how different it's going to be, but I have maxed Mary's, so I guess I'm getting the golden ending. I guess we'll find out. Let's go do that. I don't know how you're supposed to figure this out on your own. Like, I guess you could explore around, I suppose, but I did that beforehand, so I don't know. Department store. Alright, let's see what happens. I thought it was a bit of an anticlimactic ending, but do I just go in? You might as well stop by the food court one last time. Enter. Oh boy, I don't know what's gonna... Like, food court leads to TV. Is there gonna be another battle? We'll find out. Wait. Let's say there's another battle. I'm gonna humor myself. If there's another battle, Tamlin's out front. I already have all the best weapons. It's just, I'll keep the Christmas costumes on. I don't think I have any other weapons. Yeah, I have everything I need. If there's a battle, I'm ready. You know, it'd be funny. I didn't fall for, Kubo when they pretended like he was the big bad. Of course, I don't think anybody would have fall for him. I didn't fall for Namatame. I didn't fall for Adachi. I might have fallen for Mary. If they actually have another fight, I will be surprised, but it'll also make sense, because Mary was kind of easy. I don't know if that's just because I don't think I was over-leveled, but, we'll see. Might as well stop by the food court one last time. Yes. Oh boy, what's gonna happen? Do we have to do a fight? I don't feel like fighting, but I guess we'll see. If I have to fight, I'll fight. Usual food court. This is where you would spend so many afternoons going over the case with everyone. Just sitting here brings back a lot of memories. Oh, and there's the gang, right?
Huh?
Two of the gang. Hey, auto-scrolling.
What a coincidence! It must be destiny!
Okay, they only auto-scrolled the one thing. Okay, good.
Oh, so you guys came here too!
Oh, Chie. Okay, real talk. When I was watching the credits, it didn't really sink in. It wasn't until after I finished recording that I'm like, I don't get any more Chie. I'm done with Chie forever? No! More Chie! Yes!
It's our very own special headquarters. There's so many memories here.
Lots of dumb ones, too, of us just talking about nothing that ever mattered. It's such a dumb headquarters, too. Like, such a public place. This is probably how Adachi found out about us. I mean, if someone wants to eavesdrop on us, if they know what we're doing and they want to do it, it's not Card. Case in point, he was doing it a lot, I'm pretty sure.
Yo there, Senpai. I thought you'd be here.
Uh-huh.
We had a feeling we'd run into everyone if we came here.
Is that what the idea is supposed to be? You get the feeling that you want to come here because of all the memories? Because me, just brings back a bunch of bad memories. It was always when we were around this table talking about stupid stuff that got me the most pissed off usually. So for me, it just brings up all the bad memories.
We were planning on seeing you off at the station tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
But I was feeling too restless, so I decided to come here.
Looks like we all have the same thought.
Well, since we're all here, why don't we have something to eat?
Let's make it steak.
Ooh, let's have steak and make Yosuke pay for everything.
Yeah! She is so on my wavelength. Or maybe I'm just on hers.
Will you shut up about your steaks?
But you don't protest to paying for everything? Ah, and they just giggle. You remember this with the others. I'm very curious what's going to trigger this golden ending thing. There has to be a fight, right? We're at the TV food court. If there's not a fight, what's going to trigger it?
I really had fun in this world.
You mean in our world? I had fun in our world too. It's the TV world that was kind of less fun, but...
Dude, your whole existence is about fun.
It's about creepy perviness to the point of being too creepy. There's a certain level of perviness that's like, oh, you're funny. Teddy is not that. He goes way past that.
Well, what we've gone through wasn't all fun and games. But I gotta say, I've never felt so fulfilled in my life.
Yeah, for all the bitching I do and complaining about Yosuke, he arguably has the biggest legitimate reason for not telling the cops, and Naoto, I guess. Everybody else, it feels like we're just sheep. We're just hurting behind the people with the abrasive opinions. Yosuke was the one who started the whole don't tell the cop thing. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't take a genius to think we probably should. But Yosuke's one of the few people who has probably a legit reason to not. It's still a stupid reason, and his whole thing with his shadow, fighting his shadow, was about the shadow having that opinion and him realizing, oh, you're right, I am doing everything on my own, that was stupid, and then continuing to do everything on his own. So like, what? I don't know. It's dumb, but that's why I like to blame Yosuke, because he was the start of every problem. I don't know. But, yeah.
It seems we've been working on this forever, but at the same time, it felt like it went so fast.
I get that feeling too. This is definitely my longest LP yet. In fact, as far as main game go, I've never taken this long to beat a main game before. To be fair, Let's Playing makes things take longer because I constantly stop and talk like this, but even still, it's a pretty damn long game.
We won't ever gather here again like this. Or tear our hair out trying to solve the mysteries.
And ultimately solving nothing. Seriously, when do we ever accomplish anything sitting at this table? Never. We always just think, what could it be? What could it be? What could we do? And then the answer is nothing. Or at least whenever they do come up with an answer, it doesn't help anything. The people always get thrown in the TV and we always just go in there and fight the bad guy. We never solved anything, which was really lame, but oh well. I've complained about that in the credits, so don't need to complain about that more, I guess. Until I fully beat the game.
Even if we wanted to talk about it all, there were so many extraordinary things that no one would believe us.
There it is! There it is! You know, it's not hard to fucking prove it! Stick your hand in the fucking TV! It's shit. Okay, I've been through this before, but she said that line, so I had to say why she's fucking stupid. It's not hard to make you believe it when you have fucking proof. After all, here's a question. Yukiko, do you believe it? Well, duh. Why do you believe it? Well, I've been in there. Oh, well, there's your fucking answer. Jesus, ditballs.
Come to think of it, for me, I think it all started when Chie told me about the Midnight Channel.
They're probably talking about... This is probably supposed to be a scene of fun and happy, but it's just bringing up all the bad memories for me.
I think I heard about it from her too.
Me too. Chie started everything. I mean, in a way, Chie is the hero. I mean, it was Yosuke's dumb idea to not tell the cops in the first place, but Chie is the hero who started it all. No, it's the Midnight Channel. I think I brought this up earlier too, but how hard it would have been to at least tell the cops about the Midnight Channel? I mean, really. Say like, hey, I noticed a pattern, Mr. Cop, sir. There's this Midnight Channel thing, and when people show up on the TV, they usually get kidnapped. It's weird. Do you think there's a pattern there? Could have at least told them that. Didn't even tell them that.
How did you learn about it, Chie?
I guess. It was just a random rumor. A lot of girls were trying it out.
That is weird, though. I mean, how did that whole thing start? No, because Amano Sagiri said it started by people... What was it? What people wanted to see? And then that led into Adachi manipulating it, but... That's... I don't know, it's weird. Is this what's gonna lead to? Are we gonna leading up to some big reveal? For a second I'm like, how did Chie know? Chie's the boss! No, they wouldn't do that.
Huh. I wonder how it started then.
Is this what we're gonna be finding out, how it started?
Who knows? Maybe someone accidentally came across it?
The Midnight Channel. You know, that really was the cause of everything.
Indeed. Well, I don't know if Adachi did it because of that. I don't know if he even knew about the Midnight Channel at the time.
I mean, the fog lifted after we caught Adachi, but there's still a lot of stuff that isn't clear yet.
Thank you! I thought there was a lot of stuff that wasn't clear. I didn't think they were going to clarify it, though. I didn't think this game was smart enough to realize there was a lot of stuff that wasn't clear.
It's still foggy over there, too.
Alright.
Some weird guy might use it to do bad things again.
What are you trying to say? How much more of the game is there?
Didn't that Amino something monster say?
I just had a weird thought. What if there's like a whole nother dungeon? Please don't tell me there's a whole nother dungeon. I don't want to do another whole nother dungeon. I'll do a boss fight, but I'm not if there's another dungeon, I'm just gonna stop recording and do this some other day. I don't feel like it.
It granted us power?
I bestowed power onto those who could brave the Hollow Forest.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But if the Hollow Forest is Mary's thing, then that means me, Namatame, and Adachi, but why do we randomly have those powers? Like, we have the power to brave the Hollow Forest, but the others don't? Whatever happened to Namatame? He's okay, right? He's a cool bro, I like him. I really thought we'd social link with him. I'm surprised we didn't. Kinda sad, too. I like him.
In other words, he gave the power to enter-TVs to those who awakened to their persona ability.
We did it all on our own. We didn't need to fight ourselves. We were too cool for that. Although you'd think Adachi would have a pretty big fight with himself, but hey.
So that he might use us as pawns to enact his scheme.
But his scheme was just trying to put the world in the way that he thought the world needed to be in. But then when we beat him, he realized that wasn't right, so he undid it, but... Is there gonna be more to him? Because I know he kind of relates to Mary, but it still felt like he was just an out of nowhere. Oh, I'm the big bad! Oh, you beat me? Okay, I'm gonna stop all the evil now. It was weird.
Hey, that reminds me. Didn't your hand suddenly slip into the TV even before anything happened to you?
Yes, it did. You know what's funny? After about half a year in this game passed, is when we started really seriously looking into the deaths of the first two victims. And now, after like the whole year's passed, is when we're gonna start finally looking into the very beginning. I mean, you didn't want to ask these questions sooner? I personally would constantly be asking these questions. I have been. I've been constantly skeptical, and you know, a lot of them don't get answered, and a lot of them do. But it's like they didn't ask many, and the questions they did ask, they never found answers to. So yeah.
Does that mean you're an exception?
I've got to be. Me, Namatame, and Adachi, right? And possibly others that just never realized and never bothered to try.
Well, wait, then what about Adachi and Namatame?
If Namatame was voiced by Bosch, I could say maybe it's the Bosch powers, but he's not, so oh well.
Those two could go inside TVs before all this stuff about personas, right?
Yes, finally. This is kind of something that I've been wondering about for a long time. Finally they'll bring it up. No one ever asked this question before. What the heck?
What? Then Senpai and the other two could do it for some other reason?
Well, yeah. Even if you never realized it with me, you should have realized it with Namatame and Adachi. Adachi.
There must be something you're not remembering. Anything come to your mind, Senpai?
The dream sequence at the beginning, I guess? Well, I'm not the only exception. There's also Namatame and Adachi. I had the dream sequence. I thought that was Amano Sirigiri. Is that not what they're getting at? Is it someone else? You had the power to enter TVs before your persona awakened. Okay, I'm gonna call something right now. I've been saying for so long that there's probably gonna be a Nega Me. Is it just gonna be Nega Me? Because I think at that point, it would just kind of be like, really? Now you're gonna have Nega Me? This is a bit late to the party, but if I had to guess, that would be my guess. Negami would be the final fight. But I feel like that might be what they're going towards, but we'll see. And the same goes for Adachi Namatame. You remember that Nanako gave you something this morning as you were about to leave. Oh?
A letter? Hey, this better not be another warning.
What? What kind... Did he just not mention this to the player in the regular ending? The sender is listed as Adachi. Oh. Is he gonna tell you about his story? I'm curious.
Huh? This is from jail?
I guess it's gotta be.
It's from Adachi.
Alright. I'm curious. I like him. He's kind of crazy, but I like him. So what's he got to say?
I'm sure you're surprised to get this letter out of the blue.
I suppose.
I'm writing this because there's something I need to tell you.
Because you care all of a sudden, I suppose? It did seem like he had a slight change of heart at the end there. Unless he's about to tell us that he was being manipulated or something.
Ever since I made it out alive, there are some things I understand now.
Okay.
It's true that my game's over.
Alright.
As you all insisted at the time, I'll abide by the rules of this world.
Okie dokie. That's a good boy, Adachi.
But as long as I'm in stir here, I can't clean up after myself.
What did you mess up that needs cleaning?
So I hope this will give you something to think about regarding this case.
Uh-huh.
There's still this feeling I can't shake.
What if Adachi's the one to ultimately solve the case? That would just be so perfect. We never fucking tell the police anything. To be fair, at the time he was kinda not the nicest person, but, if in the end it's a police guy that has the big break that solves the case, isn't that just gonna be so fucking perfect and stupid? I know, to be fair, like, if he's the one who figures it out, and we told him earlier, he probably wouldn't have been the nicest guy at the time, but still, it's funny to think about if that actually happens. And kinda stupid, but, yeah.
It's about how it all started. About that midnight channel.
Alright, sure.
Now I remember, someone told me about it when I first came to town. Before I heard the rumors at the station.
Oh god, who's this gonna be? Who's this gonna be? It couldn't be me. Could it? No, I don't think they're gonna have it be me, because that would be kind of dumb at this point. If they're gonna do that, they needed more build-up, and also don't jump out of nowhere. I don't know. Maybe there has been build-up, but I don't think there's been. But who could it be? They're not gonna say, like, oh, it's that random girl I mentioned from the other school. They wouldn't do that. That'd be stupid, because she's appeared in literally one scene. It's not gonna be Namatame. I don't think they pulled Dojima on us. I don't think. But wait, he said someone told me about it when I first came to town. Before I heard the rumors at the station. I know I had that crack theory for a long time. Maybe it was Edogawa. But, what was it? I had that crack theory, maybe it was Edogawa, but he's from the other place, not this place, so that would make sense. I had the crack theory for a long time as the gas station person. It'd be funny if it turned out to be them, but at the same time, they're not really a character, so that would also be dumb. I have no idea where they're going with this. I'm intrigued.
And I was intrigued when I noticed that something similar was written on Namatame's reports as well.
Oh, gee.
But I can't remember who it was that told me.
Okay. So, they were nondescript. You'd remember if it was me, I think. So, who could it... I'm very curious now. You know what's funny? I mentioned it before, right? The reveals seem to get better and better. I didn't think there was gonna be another reveal. Like, what's left to reveal? Wow. So, first we got the reveal that nobody was gonna buy. I kinda like... That's one of the things actually I like about this game. It's kinda neat. There was the reveal that no one was gonna buy. There was the reveal that was a bit anticlimactic, but was also kinda neat. There was a reveal that was kinda cool, but could have been done a little better. Now there's this. Like, because with the previous one, I guessed who it was, but that's because it was kind of one of those things where you only had... Actually, they listed every character in the game as an option, but I kind of just thought, well, if it has to be someone we've met, he's my first guess, and I was right. But I didn't have anything concrete pointing to him. Now maybe this time it's going to be like a really amazing, perfect reveal? Maybe I'm setting myself up for failure, but we'll see.
Since Namatame and I both gained our power after coming to Inaba, I have a feeling that has something to do with it.
Indeed, I also gained my power after coming to Inaba. Interesting, interesting. I didn't think we were going to have another reveal. I'm suddenly excited again. I was just thinking, okay, it's going to be a golden ending. We're going to see them have fun or something probably, and then get the ending, maybe fight a boss, but okay. I guess if we had a boss, though, there would be a reveal? I don't know. I didn't expect one, actually. That's weird. I expected a boss, but not a reveal.
I don't know if any of this will be useful or not, but I hope it can help somehow.
I'm actually jittering now. Oh my gosh. Another reveal? Letter from Adachi ends there.
It's not very helpful to know that he can't remember who it was.
Indeed.
I'm not sure how to put it, but I kinda know the feeling.
Yeah.
It's like... I don't know how to say this. Like something's connecting all these things. Something beyond what we can see.
Indeed. Where is this going?
That world, the Midnight Channel, the ability to enter TVs, they all feel like separate things.
That world, the Midnight Channel, the ability to enter TVs. Well, the ability to enter TVs is tied to the personas. The Midnight Channel does feel a bit disconnected from the world, though. Excuse me. Yeah, so it is interesting.
You know what I mean? First the rumors, then the serial murder, followed by us deciding to investigate the case.
I did note this before. It does feel very coincidental, because I know Adachi even mentioned that he kind of got lucky, that he even succeeded for so long, and then he just kind of went with the flow. But like, the Midnight Channel starting, the fact that people appeared on it, in the end, had nothing to do with them getting thrown in. It was kind of coincidental. Adachi just kind of turned it into a thing. So it is kind of funny how these things all kind of seem like they're super linked together, and in the end there's no connection, unless someone's pulling the strings. But then how would they be pulling them? That is interesting.
If they all really were separate, they wouldn't fit together like this, right?
Well, some people say there are no coincidences, other people say shit just happens, but it's a video game and you're talking about it now, so I'm gonna say there's a reason.
There has to be some kind of conductor behind everything.
My name is Igor. Yeah, right. He's a very nothing character. They wouldn't suddenly make him the bad guy, I don't think.
So you think the person Adachi mentioned, the one who told him about the Midnight Channel, is that conductor?
Quite possibly.
Did I strike gold again? It's seriously just something that popped into my head!
The problem is, even if that's true, how do we find out who told that to Adachi?
Senpai, is there anything like that you can think of?
That is interesting, though. Finding out how the rumor started. Because, yeah. That's interesting. Because that's something that's always been interesting to me, that this is like some rumor that people know about. And, you know, rumors always have to have a start. To be fair, though, if it's actually been a thing that's on TV, someone could have watched it and mentioned it to people, and it just happened to be a thing. But if someone actually started it on purpose, that would be another thing entirely. Yeah, I'm interested! I'm excited about plot in this game! It doesn't happen often. I was excited about the previous two reveals, though, so there is some reasoning to it. I want to say... Who did first tell me about the Midnight Channel? I think it was just Chie, but, yeah. The power to enter TV is where everything about this case started. You learned about the Midnight Channel from Chie a few days after coming to this town when she told you the rumor. But Adachi and Namatame heard about the Midnight Channel from someone immediately after coming to this town. When you think back, you feel as if something happened to you as well upon your arrival here. What? The sleep? The Igor? It wouldn't be that. Honestly, I can't think of anything, but I'm gonna say there is something. Do I have to get it right?
We were involved in a murder case last year, which we succeeded in solving.
By just going in and beating the shit out of things. We might as well have not even had brain power.
But the monster we fought last said we did well in playing our parts.
But then he also kind of said he gave up, right? Like, he conceded to us that we were right. He seemed like an otherworldly thing, not like he was connected to anyone from our side. At least that's what it seemed like at the time.
Perhaps this means Adachi and Namatame were players as well.
Well, obviously.
Could it be that from the beginning, this serial murder case was merely a portion of a much larger scheme?
But I thought the scheme was just the Sagiris, unless somebody was controlling the Sagiris. But then how did they come about their power if that's the case? Assuming they're a human on this side. And if they're not a human on this side, then who's been pretending to be a human on this side that's not actually a human? I guess.
And none of the people who were directly involved in the case ever suspected it.
To be fair, we're all pretty dumb. And Adachi was having too much fun being evil. Now that he finally realized that evil is bad, he actually is starting to become smart again, but there's not much we can do about it at this point.
Hey, this scheme.
What about it?
Could it be the whole thing about filling both worlds with the fog and turning mankind into shadows?
I suppose, but again, wasn't that what the Sagiris were doing? Is somebody controlling the Sagiris? I thought they were just things. Did someone create the Sagiris?
So someone was behind the scenes watching us. The culprits. And maybe even that monster.
Who?
And he manipulated Adachi and Namatame at the very beginning so everything would come together perfectly?
I suppose, but who?
Let's go out into town. We might find something.
How much longer is this gonna go on? I thought this was just gonna be a quick little thing. I guess not.
Although, you may be the only one capable of noticing it.
I suppose.
Please contact the rest of us should you come across anything.
Okay.
We can't say our goodbyes tomorrow with this hanging over our heads. Let's go figure this out.
So what, am I staying? Who could have given you the initial spark for this power? I mean, the only ones coming to mind are Igor, Margaret, someone on the bus, because I had that flash on the bus. Or when I had that dream that one time, but anybody could have come into my dreams, theoretically, right? The one you met immediately after coming to town was... No. I'm thinking of the gas station attendant now. Remember how I had that crack theory? Maybe he was the mastermind. No way. Because it's not going to be Dojima or Nanako. And they're the first two we technically met. And there's also Mary, but we've already went into her story, so it's not going to be her. Gas station attendant? No. On the one hand, I'd be like, I fucking called it, I said for so long, crack theory, that it's gonna be him/her. But on the other hand, they've been such a not character that to all of a sudden to be like, oh, it was them, would be very weird. Because again, they didn't even have a sprite. They had a voiced cutscene at the very beginning of the game, and occasionally we'd run into them. I mean, arguably the same thing happened with Namatame for a while, but he got a sprite. So there was some foreshadowing for that, like, they gave him a sprite, they're gonna make him important. But this would be weird if I'm right and it's the gas station attendant. And if it's not, who the fuck is it gonna be? The one you met immediately after coming to town. They're not gonna make it Dojima. They're not gonna make it Nanako. You know what would be funny? What if they made it Nanako? She seems way too perfect. What if that's because she is too perfect? I mean, they're giving me a choice here. Maybe it's the gas station attendant. I don't want to say Dojima, though. He seems like such a good guy. He's like my favorite character. I feel so bad that we never told him shit. And the idea that it's him... No way. I mean, I don't think the game thinks Nanako is perfect just like I do, but that would be my guess. So I'm just gonna say it was Nanako. In any case, you need to see them and confirm the truth. What if Dojima was the mastermind the whole time? Or, no, but then he wouldn't be evil. No. What if he was like a good mastermind? Like, he knew about the shadows and stuff, so maybe he's like the best detective ever secretly. And he figured out Adachi was evil, and somehow could give the power. No, I don't get it. No matter how I look at this, if Dojima, whoever the mastermind is, has to be evil, right? I don't want to say Dojima's evil. Nanako, I don't think they'd go there, but it would be awesome. The only other person is the gas station attendant. And that would be weird too, because they've never been a character. I have no idea where they're going with this. Usually you can, like, narrow it down, like, they're not going to do that, they're going to do that, okay, so it's them. And that's why I'm thinking maybe gas station attendant, but that also feels weird, because again, they're not a character. They've never even had a portrait. And yet the other two are Nanako and Dojima. This is a very interesting, weird feeling. It's one of those things, like, they're not going to go there, they're not going to go there, I don't think they'd go there either, but is the game implying that they're going to go to one of those three? Because that's weird. I guess I'm going to go to Dojima Residence. No, I should save first. Wait, I'm going to save first, because I don't know where this is going. I don't know if I have to say certain dialogue choices correctly, because that happened when I was figuring out the third mastermind? And now what, we're on the fifth mastermind now? Is this the fifth? I want to say this is the fifth mastermind. That's how dumb this is. I mean, again, it's kind of cool, though. At first, I thought it was kind of dumb, but then it's kind of cool how it's like, oh, it's them. Oh, it's actually them. Oh, it's actually, like, how many thems are there gonna be? The man behind the man, behind the man, behind the man, behind the man. Like, seriously. I don't think I've ever seen this many man behind mans, behind mans, behind mans before. Are we doing this? I don't even know what to expect. I was just expecting a funny extra cutscene. Or maybe some extra Chie loving. Okay. Are we gonna get some big heart pull like it's Dojima? I hope not. I would think it'd be weird if it was Nanako, but the gas station, again, they all feel weird. Dojima and Nanako are not home. Okay. Central Shopping District gas station attendant? Gas station attendant isn't there either. I'm supposed to confront the person. Where are they? I guess I just look around? Unless they're saying it was Igor. They're not going to make Igor the killer. Because I've seen Igor in a trailer for Persona 3. They wouldn't have him, like, be a Persona mascot and then be like, oh, he's the killer. Margaret? I don't think so. I think she's a staple too? I don't know. Maybe she's not. And it's not going to be Mary, because we've already went over Mary Steele, so... This feels so weird. It's like, they give you all impossible options. Sometimes they say, eliminate the improbable and whatever remains must be the truth. And I guess that's the case here, but the difference is, normally that has to do with facts. This isn't facts, this is just, would they go there, kind of thing. And I'm thinking they wouldn't go anywhere, but they have to clearly go somewhere. I don't know where they're gonna be, though. They're not at their Dojima residence. If it's them. The Velvet Room? I guess I'll check the Velvet Room. I don't think it's gonna be them, but if it is, I might as well check it. Is it gonna let me check it? Look for Dojima and Nanako. No way. Are they saying it's gonna be Dojima and Nanako, like, together? Like, super awesome evil team? Maybe unknowingly. Maybe they unknowingly did something. That would be crazy, though, if they were, like, together, the masterminds. I think I'd kind of love that, but I don't think they're gonna go there. Where would they be? Riverbank? I think that's the only place I haven't checked, right? Other than the high school. Let's check the riverbank. I don't know. Doop-a-doop-boo. Still I can't, no, I can't contain my excitement. I have no idea where this is going. That's so, oh my gosh. They're here. They're here. Oh my god, they're here. Oh my god, am I supposed to talk to them? Oh. Nanako's just chilling. There's no way. There's no way they're gonna be the ones. They're not gonna be bad guys. Maybe they're like omnipresent You know, I never met my parents. What if they're like imposters? What if they're not? You see, I've never seen my parents, and I don't remember meeting Dojima. I think that's what's more important here. I don't ever remember, like, apparently when the game starts, you met him when you were a baby, but you don't remember that, and obviously you wouldn't remember Nanako. So, I guess maybe they're like fakers who kidnapped the real... I don't know what the angle they're gonna take here. I should probably just talk to them. Renegade, trying to meet all your friends? I want to talk to you. Where are you going with this? What's this all of a sudden? I don't know. I was one away from asking your social link. Like, that felt so real, though. That felt so real. The connection with Nanako and the connection with Dojima. There's no way. Maybe unknowingly, but like, how would... I'm not sure. Let's just let the game explain. You asked Dojima about the first day you arrived in town.
The day you first came to town?
Yeah.
Let's see. We were the first ones to greet you, right?
Is Dojima actually gonna do some police work? Maybe he's gonna figure out what's going on? I guess that's a possibility. Be a bit late in the game for that, but...
Did we stop somewhere on the way home?
Are they? They're not gonna say the gas station attendant. No.
I'm pretty sure Nanako and I left home that afternoon, picked you up, and came straight back.
Am I not supposed to remember the gas station attendant? Because I've been editing the beginning of the Let's Play. Maybe that spoiled me, but I remember the gas station attendant scene. Because I remember having the crack theory, what if he's like the killer? I didn't think it would come true, or if it was going to come true, they do more with him, instead of all of a sudden at the very end of the game being like, oh yeah, that one scene at the beginning of the game, the only time you ever met this person, and you never even learned their name, they were just gas station person, they're the killer? They're not going to do that, are they? It seems like that's what they're leading to.
Now that I think back to that night, I was called back to work as soon as we got home, so I couldn't talk much.
Was that the idea? The person who called you maybe set that up so they could get me alone?
And the very next day, those strange murders started.
I see, that is interesting. The very next day is when they started.
Sheesh. Lots happened since then. It's been one heck of a year, hasn't it?
And you aren't even in on the whole thing, assuming you're not the mastermind. If you are the mastermind, then I guess you are in on the whole thing, but if you aren't, then I still feel so bad. Like, why did we never tell you? Let's tell him right now, please?
Hey, Big Bro. On the first day, didn't we stop at that place?
They're not gonna actually just say it's the gas station attendant, are they? The person who's not even a character?
The gas station. I used the bathroom there.
Okay, great, I remember that. I'm gonna be disappointed if it's the gas station attendant. It's funny because I made a crack theory about that, but again, they're not a character. We played this whole game. Occasionally we'd see them in the rain without a sprite, without a name, and at the very beginning they had some voiced lines, but that was it.
When I got back to the car, you were talking to the weird attendant.
I suppose that is true. The weird attendant?
Yeah, when I first met you, I remember the gas attendant because he was weird.
Was it even a he? I remember that being a question I had, because I remember a girl's voice.
Now that you mention it, I do remember that. I filled the tank before we went home, huh?
Indeed.
Yeah, I do remember you talking to the attendant there.
Okay, so... I had the dream sequence before that, though. So, there's that, right?
I didn't remember seeing him much before, so he stuck in my mind.
Are they actually going there? The big reveal is some character who's not a character?
But I don't know about calling him weird. It wasn't like he looked or acted funny.
I remember thinking it was weird that he talked about possibly getting a part-time job, and then we never even potentially got the... And he said maybe he could even hire me or whatever, and then you never even got the chance to work part-time at the gas station. That's something I find weird, especially because if it does turn out to be the gas station attendant, I think it would make a lot more sense if you did have the potential to get that as a part-time job, and could actually get a social link with the gas station attendant, and then they would be a real character, and then if it was revealed it was them, it'd be actually a shocker. As opposed to now, where if it's really them, that's really dumb. Unless, of course, there was the potential to make a social link with them, because again, there's one I'm missing, I think, but, I doubt it's that.
Yeah. Come to think of it, I never saw that guy again.
I saw him sometimes. On rainy nights, we saw him out, didn't we?
It wasn't really that the attendant looked weird. But after you talked to him, you looked sick, big bro.
I guess. I talked to him. Of course I talked to him. I look sick? I remember that.
Don't you remember? I asked you on the way home. Are you carsick?
I do remember that.
You said you were okay, but
What?
that attendant, he was just a little scary for some reason.
Are they really going there? Unless it turns out the attendant was actually pretending, and it turns out the attendant was actually a real character, and they were just pretending to be some attendant, and maybe they had a face mask or something, and a voice changer, but at that point, what's the point? I don't know. Unless they had... One thing that might be clever, I don't think this game would be that smart though, is if maybe the attendant wasn't the attendant, was somebody else, was an actual character, but then some of the mannerisms that he or she did are similar to mannerisms another character does. Very small touches that you're probably not going to notice unless you're looking for them, but that would actually show foreshadowing. But again, I don't think the game's that smart, and I don't think they're going to go there, but we'll see.
Well, I didn't know about that. But honestly, I'm surprised you're asking all these questions. I thought you came here just to reminisce.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So, why are you looking for the person you met first? Is something going on with that attendant? Do you know him?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if I know him, because I would say, if the attendant is just some random attendant, then no, I don't know him. Not really. It's no big deal. It might be important.
I see. Well, just remember that you leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're up to, but you should come back home early.
You never know what I'm up to. Why can't I just have a cool talk with you? Like, remember that attendant we first met? Well, you know how I've been going in the channel and saving people, right? You know, now that you're in on it, because you totally should be. I think maybe he's related to it somehow, because I got my power around the time I came here, and so did the others. So, he was one of the first people I met, so maybe he has something to do with it. So what is your thoughts on that? Could I have that kind of conversation? That would be so nice. I just want him to be in on it. I'm so mad he's not.
There are some dark clouds on the horizon. We might get some rain soon.
He always shows up when there's rain. I remember that. He was always there on rainy nights. And I would go up to him and be like, "You might be the mastermind." And I'd be joking that. And I haven't actually gotten to the point where I bring that up in the LP that I'm editing. But once I get there, I'm going to be like, if it actually is true, I'll be like, "Ha, I called it!" I'm not going to bring that up, of course. But that'd be a spoiler, but that'd be funny. I understand.
Okay.
First place you stopped when you came to town was the gas station. Maybe something there will jog your memory. I suppose? Another reason the gas station person is so heavy in my memory is because, as I said in the beginning of the Let's Play, I did that beginning part over and over and over. So even though the gas station attendant doesn't have many lines, it's still very big in my memory because I heard him say the same lines over and over and over. Alright. I'm gonna be a bit disappointed if it's just some character that isn't even a character. Again, unless they're masquerading and it is a real character. I guess we're about to find out, though. Oh boy. Can I check anything? Check? This is the gas station, right? Check? Check? What do you have to say, girl? The gas station attendant? I've only seen an older woman and an older man and an older woman working here. Oh. Well, there you go. Dun dun dun. I guess. Oh, what's up? Are you behind all this? Behind all this? What do you mean? Do you give me the power? Power? Is that some sort of quiz? I don't get it. He doesn't seem to know anything. Okay. I'm just thinking if there's any character, like, with green hair that... Because I think they had green hair, the gas station attendant, so... Did we meet any green-haired people? None are coming to mind. Like, other than the attendant. When I first met you? Wasn't it right here? Even before that? I don't know. Something wrong? Are you behind all this? Behind all what? Are you reenacting a scene from a movie? Did you give me the power? Enough's enough. Even someone like me has limits, you know. Yeah, are we just supposed to go around to everyone being like, it was you! No, it was you! I don't... Again, I'm not recalling anyone with green hair, but... Other than the attendant. Maybe I can go into some place. Still nobody here. Bookstore? No. No. In here? No. In here. Oh, put the dials arrested in play. Okay, in here. No. No reason for me to be there. No reason for me to be there. Sign says Nisho Barber, but the shutters are closed. The shop is closed. Did we ever go to the barber? I'm confused about the barber. Did I miss... I don't know. Is there somebody on the plane now? That's like the only thing, right? Maybe? No, there's nobody on the plane. What? What am I doing? I've literally been everywhere. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't know what you're up to, but you should come back home early.
Uh-huh.
There's some dark...
I know. Wait for me.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe something there will jog your memory. I was at the gas station. There was nothing there. What? What? I've never just been this kerfuffled. I'm sure I was there, but I guess I'll go around trying to examine everything. Maybe I did miss something. I don't think I did, but I'll try. This thing? This thing? That thing? No? Maybe? I'm trying to look for examinables. You sure there's... Gas station, only seen an older man. Well, great, but there's no one here. The game's telling me to go to the gas station. This is the gas station, and there's nothing here. Oh, I can go in the Velvet Room now. That's weird.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
What is your input on the situation? Is it Margaret? The voice is totally different, though. But the hair might actually be a bit similar. Maybe. That would be crazy. I guess there would have been build-up, but... She was in the initial Velvet Room. She wouldn't have had to come to the real world and pretend to be a gas station attendant. And on top of that, she helped me save Mary. Right? And there are rainy nights when the gas station attendant is out, and yet you can go into the Velvet Room and I'm certain Margaret's still there. I think. I'm pretty sure. But what else would it be going to? And again, she helped us, like, save Mary, and doing so kind of saved the world. Unless she wanted to save the world, because that goes against her plan. But what was her plan? Because Mary was trying to stop the plan, though, by destroying... No, by dying. And she was needed for the plan? Still, though, it's weird. I don't know.
How may I help you?
Is your assistant evil? Or crazy? Are you evil or crazy?
You have solved the mystery and deflected the disaster that so nearly fell upon you.
I guess.
Is there something else beyond this you need our assistance with?
Maybe? I wanted to thank you again. There's one last thing.
Intriguing. So, is there still something that leaves you unsatisfied?
Margaret? Is that it? I don't know. Like, that's the feeling I'm getting, but I'm not sure if that's where they're going with it. And again, the voice, I think, was very different. To be fair, if it is Margaret, they'd have to go out of their way to make the voice a different voice actor, because if they made it the same voice actor, you could probably tell. To be fair, though, again, they've had multiple uses of repeat voice actors, but I don't know. Unless it was the same voice actor just doing different acting, but it sounded very different.
What may that be? Well then, let's take a look and see what it is you might be sensing.
I suppose. Oh, Margaret had a huh. Is it really gonna be her?
Wow. That's a lot.
Or maybe she just had a huh because she was mystified? So what is all this, anyways?
Ah, this is a surprise. These are shards of power, allowing one to see through to the truth of things without being swayed by hollow rumors.
Okay.
Interesting. Indeed, you have come here today for a reason.
I suppose I have.
Then I shall play my part as well.
What's your part? Who's what's parts? You guys have been so disjointed from the game, and you're suddenly gonna be characters? Okay.
That is a crystal of power, which you have nurtured through your journey.
That's cool. I mean, it's cool to see Igor show off some of his crazy psychic powers that I guess he has, but he just seems like a neutral entity that came here to be like, sup, I'm in the personas, I'm here to tell you about stuff. You can use me to make things, but I'm not gonna help you or your bad enemies. I guess? And then Margaret isn't like that? I don't know. Or maybe I'm wrong.
An orb that repels fabrications of all sorts, dispels lies, and shines upon the truth.
That sounds like a Deus Ex Machina. A bullshit repellent device, but it in itself is kind of bullshit. Orb of Sight. What?
Hey. I remembered something about myself.
Okay.
I was born a long, long time ago.
I suppose.
I was the unconscious wish shared by people's minds.
That's cool. Maybe that's why maybe you're like a Sue incarnate. No, you're not a Sue. Maybe that means everybody wishes for tsundere? I guess a lot of people do.
To protect the world of man. Walk the path of man. Fulfill the wish of the world. That was my role.
Alright.
But people changed.
There started being too many tsunderes. They started to dislike them and throw them into, you know, a dislikable generic rehash trope thing.
People stopped wishing for truth and life. Or maybe they just stopped paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, the me that wanted to protect humanity and the me that wanted to fulfill humanity's wish couldn't stay as one.
Okay.
The desires of man had no bounds, and one day, my other half became its own existence. Much larger than myself.
You mean Samagiri?
I was left behind, with no power or memories.
Okay. Is this gonna maybe go into why she didn't have a hat when we first met her, or is that irrelevant? I mean, again, it's got a V on it, so maybe this is the Velvet Room hat she just got when she first came here. I don't know.
I became a tiny fragment incapable of even clearing the fog without giving my own life to do so. Kusumi no Okami.
I'm pretty sure it's Okami, and also, I think you were... So are you saying you were a whole entity before Okami, and that's just what you are now?
The rest, you already know.
Alright.
Without my powers, I became a tool, manipulated by the other me.
So, this is nice, actually. I complained a bit in the credits about how, I mean, we did get a bit of a Mary explanation, but it wasn't too thorough. And now they're being a bit more thorough. I like that. So yeah, I guess I can take back one of my complaints. It's a miracle! Now we just have to tell Dojima everything, and I can take back my other one. No, it's still a big complaint, even if they do tell him now, but at least they'll be telling him.
You already know, huh?
Know what?
The cause of it all. The one who created the Midnight Channel and gave you the power to enter the TV.
It was just you? Then what about the gas station attendant? I mean, yes, I met you, but again, we've already been through your store. They're not going to make it you.
The real Puppet Master, who tried to fill both worlds with fog, using me and the Sagiri.
Okay.
If you don't defeat her, the world will never be truly clear of that fog.
Okay.
Go. Follow what you believe in. The truth is right in front of you.
Margaret's right in front of me, so are they saying Margaret, or what? What is it?
Truth is a thing which only appears to those who have observed, considered, and made a choice.
So I have to choose. Just like last time.
At the end of the path you chose lies the truth. Believe in it, and continue without faltering.
Okay.
How marvelous.
So where's my choice?
It seems that you will reveal the journey's true end, one beyond our predictive power.
Okay.
Now go to the place where everything began.
Where everything began? The station? So are they saying it's not Margaret? Because that was my thought. It began raining. And then she's there. Is it just going to be her and there's nothing more to it? I'm going to quickly save, and then I have to take a piss, and then we'll see if this is what I think it is or not. I remember I kept saying she/he always appeared when there was rain. But yeah, I gotta take a piss. Well, I guess it's time to find out what's the happenings. Hi there, do you need something? Nothing really. Is this where I first? First? What are you talking about? Oh, is this about that part-time job? I'm sorry, we don't have an opening yet. Yeah, I remember that. At the beginning, you're like, part-time job, hanging out with your friends. And then there was never a part-time job available at this place. That was always weird to me. If we actually got a part-time job, maybe at a social link with you, you could have been a real character and this could have been a real twist, but now it's just like, oh, you're just some person who we never really knew? It's just the whole thing of like, what's the point? Go somewhere else. Do you know Namatame? Do you know Adachi? Ah, the serial murder suspect. A real tragedy, wasn't it? Indeed. But the case was solved, right? Thank goodness. We think. Never mind. Have you met those two? Did those two come here? Have you met those two? Well, that's a weird question to ask. I don't know if it was right here, but I might have met them before. I've been in this town for a long time, so yeah, there's a good chance. It's not like I knew them personally. Also, even though she seems to only be here when it's raining, she or he, Mary called her a she, but then Nanako and Dojima said it was a he. Yeah, even though normally they're only there when it's raining, they were there with Nanako and Dojima when it wasn't raining, so yeah. If you're going, if you got anything else, you mind leaving me alone? You still need something? Hey, I asked you to leave me alone, did you miss that? I'm done now. Did you do anything to them? Sorry I bothered you. I'm done now. Sorry I bothered you, did you do anything to them? Huh? To those two? Oh, we're gonna get the truth? That's right, I remember now. Oh shit. I think I met them when they first came to town. So I greeted them saying, "Welcome to Inaba." Yes, you did do that. But that's all. Just that. What about it? There's the chuckle, because it's a FEMA. What about it? I gotta give him a real voice, I guess, now. But it's also got to be kind of masculine, because they were faking, right? What about it? Oh, nothing. What did you do to me? What did you do to me? What did I do? Don't you remember? I met you here when you first came to town, and did the same thing as what I did to those two. I greeted you, that's all, remember? We talked for a couple of minutes, and that's all the screen time I've ever had in this freaking game. So, it's not like I'm gonna be the mastermind, that would make no sense. Actually, game? Actually, that would make no sense. Mind if I ask you something? Why all these questions? Is there something that's bothering you about the time we first met? Yes, there is. Who are you? Did you give me the power? Who are you? I don't want to jump straight to did you give me the power. Who are you? Amazing. You've reached me at last. Let's drop this charade. What charade? To be quite honest, I was waiting for you to come. Oh, really? Adachi, Namatame, and you. It is I who awakened that power within you three. Okay, but who are you? The ones who had potential. Uh-huh. Having said that, I'm rather surprised. You never told the police. It was really stupid. Is that what you're surprised about? Oh, shit.
You really are troublesome.
Oh, they finally gave you a portrait. So you're supposed to be the other half of Mary? And yeah, looking at it from here, that hair kind of looks like, freaking, what is it? Margaret. That looks like Margaret's hair, so that would have been an interesting twist. Because the hair does look a bit like Margaret's. That would have been clever, but instead we're getting some random person who looks like nobody we've ever seen before. It's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, surprise! It was Jeffrey Poopikins all along! And you're like, Jeffrey Poopikins? Oh my gosh, that's right! And then the other person in the room's like, who's Jeffrey Poopikins? I have no idea, I've never heard of him. We don't know. Well, but that's who it is. That's the mastermind, someone we've never heard of? Yep, apparently. Okay. Again, it's like, what? Again, at least with Namatame, like, he was a character. Very minor character before that. This, you can't even call them a character.
Not only did you defeat the two Sagiri I snuck into Adachi and Namatame, but you even saved that stunted dwarf of a life.
Uh-huh. Are you talking about Mary? So you're the one behind everything? So you're the one behind everything?
It's such a foolish thing. What good is saving her life?
I'm not sure. Is that the same voice actor as Mary? Because that would make sense, but I'm not sure.
She is but rubbish. Suitable only for getting rid of that pointless fog.
So yeah, who are you? What are you? What's the point? Because if this is all there is, like, oh, I'm the big bad, but I'm no one you've ever met before, there'd be no point. So, is there a point?
Hmm?
What, hmm?
Don't tell me she was still carrying that around.
Carrying what?
Oh, excuse me. I was talking about that bamboo comb you have on you.
Ah, yes. I will say, though, nice, evil-looking, intimidating sprite. I do like it, but still. Remember when it was revealed that, Naoto, that I was right about Naoto, about the sex? I got all pumped, like, I'm right, oh my gosh, I'm right! Like, that's the kind of feeling that I don't get too often, but like when a reveal is done so right, but there's enough build-up, but it's not, and you're just like, yes! I'm not getting that here, because again, that was, like, the thing with female versus male was slightly crack theory, slightly not. This was total crack theory with almost no substance, and the longer they went with no substance, the more it's like, there's no way they wouldn't do that, it wouldn't make sense, but I got it from Mari, what about it, why do you laugh?
I apologize, but the appropriateness was just so amusing.
She/he does actually look a bit like Mary. Some of the facial expressions do too. And maybe if, okay, let me know, does her/his mannerisms resemble, like, not in the portrait, because this is new, but in the sprite, do they resemble Mary's? I don't think so, but maybe.
The comb is a symbol of the separation we went through.
Okay. You remember that Kanji's mother mentioned that you visit Tetsumi Textiles with Mary. What? Wait. You remember that Kanji's mother mentioned that you mentioned that when you visited. It's an old belief that combs have the power to cause separation. Oh. Is that supposed to be the hint? I guess that is a hint. I think I was going along with a theory for a while though, that maybe Mary was like a part of me. But no, she's a part of this person, who's we've never even heard about until just now. So yeah, you see why I think this is pretty dumb?
How foolish. That comb was a curse. And to think she treasured it all this time.
Uh-huh.
She must have been desperate for something to cling to. There's a limit to how irresponsible you can get.
Okay. I will not forgive you. Don't you look down on Mary. You've messed with me as well. Don't look down on Mary.
And what are you going to do about it?
I fight, I suppose. That's how we solve all our problems in this game.
The last battle wasn't enough for you.
Honestly, it was kind of easy, if you want me to be completely honest.
You certainly have the powers I was expecting.
Okay. What do you mean? Why did you choose me? Who are you? Why did you choose me?
For your special potential, of course.
Okay.
Your friends were drawn to the spark I stirred in you. That's why they're here now, with their awakened powers.
No, it's because they were all thrown into the TV. I never told anybody. The only people who ever found out were the people that were thrown in the TV. The sole exceptions being Chie and Yosuke, because they were there when they first saw me sticking my arm in. They're the only other people to ever find out, because they were there and they saw it. If other people saw it, gee, maybe they'd know. But we were too stupid to think, maybe we can show them.
Still, I didn't think you'd make it all the way to me.
I guess it is a pretty long game.
Indeed. I never expected this at all. You're really something.
And originally I didn't. I thought it was the end of the game.
What? You don't remember?
Don't remember what? Do you mean the dream sequence?
When you first came to town, I gave your power a gentle push.
I guess you must mean the dream sequence. So that was you?
Just like this.
Oh shit. We're not even in the Persona world. What are you gonna do to me? OP! Nerf, please! OP!
Are you in high school?
No, there we go.
Does it surprise a city boy to see how little there is out here? There's so little to do, I'm sure you'll get bored fast. You'll either be hanging out with your friends or doing part-time jobs.
Considering this is the beginning of the game, I guess it's not weird to be flashing back to it. but honestly, I've pretty much memorized his entire speech. I say that, but I don't know if I could quote his next line. But I just saw the scene so many times, and I recently got back to it in editing, so it's all fresh in my mind.
Speaking of which, we're actually looking for part-time help right now.
You see, I remember that line, and then I could never work here. It was really weird.
Give it some thought, why don't you? We don't mind if you're a student.
I gave it some thought, and you never gave me the chance. That still feels very dumb to me. But then we shook hands. I guess that was it. You feel an extreme dizziness.
You're not the only one I welcome to town with a handshake greeting.
I see. So it was you. I mean, I get that. But you're just some entity of giving life to thingies, some omnipotent... Like, I liked that with Adachi and with Namatame, it was just a person using what they had. Granted, they were both also given the powers right away, but I get that they have to go down a supernatural route to an extent, but I wish there was some groundness in reality. I guess my big problem is, if they were going to be a supernatural being masquerading as an ordinary person, masquerading as an actual character, not some random person we met at the beginning of the game for 5 seconds and then never again.
I did the same for a few other outsiders like you. A handful of strangers were more than sufficient to stimulate a small place like this.
And that's what awakened the world inside the TV?
But it seems the stimulus was stronger than I imagined. Enough to envelop this town with fog, and later lift it.
Oh, you look worried. Did you not want that to happen?
Not only that, you now stand before me as if your assigned part wasn't enough. What for?
To fight, I guess? I mean, what was your purpose? What did you do all this for? You apparently didn't want the fog? To end everything. To learn the truth. I don't really know. To learn the truth.
What will grasping the truth do for you?
Answer the questions that we've been asking all this game, and that's the whole point of a mysteries in game.
Why such greed? I guess it's the foolish nature of being mortal.
And you're not, even though we're totally gonna kick your butt, right? Oh shit.
I am Izanami.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because I have Izanagi, right? That was my starter persona. Although, I fused them off really quickly. Are you mad about it? Are you mad that I fused them off? I guess that makes sense. But, I mean, it makes sense in the form of, oh, that's a nice nod to my other thing that I had. But it's not like a, oh, that makes sense! Because it's not one of those. It's just a, oh, that makes sense. So, it's not at all like I'm all of a sudden going to be clapping my hands for a brilliant reveal.
Amino Sagiri, ruler of the fog, is merely an aspect of myself that I birthed long ago.
Okay.
You awakened to a power I had not imagined.
Okay.
You defeated the two Sagiri and the one fragment born from me.
I did do these things.
And now here you stand, face to face with me.
Indeed.
I can no longer ignore this situation as mere foolishness. This may be fate, as decreed by the world.
I've never been a fan of fate, but okay.
Very well. This time I shall pit my full strength against you.
So, I guess we're just gonna... You know what this feels like? This feels like Amino Sagiri. After we fought the Bosch, it was like Amino Sagiri showed up all of a sudden. It's like, oh, I'm like the collective evilness of all this place. I'm the bad guy, now fight me. And then you fought him, and I thought that was him just testing us. But then after you beat him, it's just like, oh, okay, I'll let the bad stuff stop now. Clearly you don't deserve to die, and then just stopped. And it feels like that's what this is. Because, again, it's another character who's been doing these things all along, but we're only just now learning that they even really exist. And now we're supposed to fight them as this big boss. And it's dumb, I feel, but hey!
But in return, You must come prepared to follow through in your futile resistance.
Alright.
I'll be waiting for you there.
Where are we going? The one you just encountered was the entity behind everything. Everybody is always behind everything. Oh, you finally met the person behind everything. Oh, you met the person really behind everything. The person really, really behind the one really super awesome ultra mega chocolate behind everything. And again, I'm okay with that if it gets bigger and better every time. But this isn't better than Adachi. It's not. He's still the top dog of reveals and stuff. And characters as far as villains. This is not as good. It'd be one thing, better if this was Sagiri again. Because then it would be the same person, like Sagiri was testing us. But this is like a pawn of Sagiri, and it just feels disjointed, and it's... I don't know. It doesn't feel good. Her name is Izanami. Great. You can hear your friends' voices in the distance. Why couldn't it be Dojima and Nanako or something crazy like that?
Hey, are you alright? Who was that you were just talking to?
I could tell you their name, but it wouldn't matter because you've never heard of them before.
Did it just disappear?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, don't tell me.
You told your friends what happened between you and the gas station attendant. Holy shit, we're actually telling people stuff? Normally we just let them figure it out on their own if they ever happen to. Normally we never tell,
So, it wasn't over after all.
Apparently.
You're saying this so-called Izanami is the conductor, and she's waiting for us in the other world?
Apparently.
If we don't beat her, I'm sure it'll all happen again.
I mean, I get it. It makes sense. Finding out the root of everything is good, but I kind of thought Sagiri was the root of everything. It's nice to find out why exactly we were picked, but it's, again, it's some not real person. It's just a random person being like, I'm the big villain, by the way. It's weird.
Oh, okay. The others aren't far off, so I'll call them up.
Yeah, will ya? Tell him this is really gonna close the case.
There's no point. It's the boy who cried wolf. It's the Yosuke who cries case closed. You say that enough, they're not gonna believe you anymore. Yeah, of course, this time it's case closed. Sigh, until we get to the next reveal.
Right. We'll defeat her and put an end to this for sure this time.
I feel like we've said that every time for the last several boss fights. Doesn't it feel... I'm pretty sure someone said that exact line. Something like that. Every time the last 4 or 5 bosses. Well, yeah, the last 4 bosses at least.
Alright.
No, 5.
And once we're all ready, let's meet up at Junes.
5, and then skip a few, go back to Kubo, 6. Anyways. You finally discover the true cause of everything that happened. Again, we've gotten this line quite a few times now, so stop pretending, game. You must defeat the Izanami who waits for you in the other world. Yes, Izanami. This brings up the question of what's in a name. Because, great, it's funny that we can learn it's Izanami. It makes sense because we have Izanagi, or at least we had him. But it doesn't really matter because they're not a thing we've ever heard of. You can call them anything you want. You could call them Rainbow Dash for all I care. It doesn't change the fact that we've never heard of them. If Izanagi truly gave birth to Amino Sagiri, then as long as Izanami is left alone, the town will definitely fall into the fog again someday. But again, what do they want? What does Izanami want? Because she said she didn't expect the fog to show up. But wasn't that the whole point of Sagiri? I'm confused. They haven't explained that, I don't feel. And if that were to happen, everyone, all those presents to you would become mere shadows. This is the most important task you have faced, and it must be taken care of before leaving town. You must ensure complete peace for this town where you've lived with everyone. So I guess when you get to the normal ending, it ends up, at post-game, the world goes to shit again, I suppose? Great! I was all excited! We get another reveal, yay! And the reveal isn't even a reveal. It does feel weird because I did call this a long time ago. I called this so long ago. And normally when I do that, I get super excited when it turns out to be true. But in this case, that was like the most crack theory I made in this game easily. Because there's nothing to back it up. And it turns out to be true. So it's like, I don't know how to feel. I do know how to feel. It's dumb. They needed, if there was more foreshadowing. But, again, if they were a real character, and they're not. Anyways, I guess we're going to the department store? No, let's save first. Is there going to be a dungeon or just a boss? Honestly, I don't even want to do a boss at this point. If there's a boss, I'll probably save it for next time. I don't feel like it at the moment. And I've been very lax on editing recently. I should probably do some more editing, so that's a thing. But, yeah. I've been on a high since I finished recording. I haven't wanted to edit, but I should probably get back to editing. I thought I could get through this golden ending pretty quickly, but now there's a bunch of stuff, and there's clearly going to be a boss fight. But is there going to be a dungeon? Will they give us a dungeon? That's what I'm curious about.
Alright!
This is finally it, again. So many things have happened to us until now, but now we'll blast this Izanami and put an end to this. Again. Right? Yes, but since we were spread out all over town until a moment ago, let's go over what happened. This is the last measure that must be taken. We need to make sure that we properly end this. And not figure out later on that there's another mastermind again. Confirm the situation. What do you ask about? Izanami. We thought Amano Sagiri was behind everything, but it turns out there was something behind it too. Yep, man behind the man behind the man behind the man behind the man. And that something was a guy at the gas station? Exactly, just some random guy at the gas station who's not a character. I can't believe she was disguised as a gas station attendant smack in the middle of town. And that's another reverse trap that I totally called. Like, at the beginning of the game, I'm like, you sound kind of like a girl. Are you really a boy? I was right again. Anyways. Does that mean she knew Renegade Dojima-san would stop by there on the day he came to Inaba? I don't know. Mary ran into me first, though, so... I guess it's the best place to greet people from out of town, but... Did she come into contact with Adachi and Amatame also? At a different place, disguised as someone else? You see, that's the thing, the disguises. Has she had more disguises? Like, if there's been more disguises, and there's more build-up, that's one thing. But if she's just only ever been the gas station attendant, only ever appeared a couple times, it would be so weird. Who the hell is this Izanami? Exactly! We don't know anything about them! We have no idea who they are! We get revealed it's somebody, and then we don't even know who they are. Izanami and Amano Sagiri. It was the same thing with Amano Sagiri. It was just some person. Some evil entity. At least with Izanami, there was some build-up, but if this is the big villain, then they definitely needed more. Those names would be familiar to students of ancient Japanese mythology, or anyone who's watched Naruto. Huh? You're saying she's a god? I don't think that's possible. We've seen TV World stuff, of course that's possible. Reminds me, remember the persona that Adachi summoned? Looked kinda like Izanagi. Did me, Namatame, and Adachi all have Izanagis? I don't know how to put it, but I thought it was kind of like the persona that Renegade first called. Way back when, before I fused it off, because it became worthless. Izanagi, was it? Yup. Izanagi is also the name of a god in the same legends. Since both of them awakened with the same push from the same individual, their power may have been similar. We never saw Namatame Izanagi, though. Persona is one's heart's given form. The images of gods and mythical beings were created by humans, so if the personas resemble them, maybe a connection there, since the enemy reigning over that world calls itself Izanami. Oh yeah, we were taught that Izanagi and Izanami's names originated from the word Izanu, meaning to invite. Maybe that's because we were all the ones invited in, and we could invite others in. Maybe I'm thinking too hard about this, but Namatame-san, Detective Adachi, Renegade couldn't, even us, no, you don't count. We were invited to play our parts in this case, as if there was some deeper meaning behind it all. Fuck that, I hate the whole deeper meaning bullshit thing. And you guys weren't invited, except you were invited by me. Because, and it only started that way. The only reason Chie and Yosuke, because they happened to be there when I first put my hand in. Otherwise, maybe I never would have told them either. It would have just been me and Yukiko. Would Yukiko have been able to live with herself not telling Chie? Like, these are the things I wonder. Deeper meaning? I don't really get it. But if she's trying to mess everything up, I can't let that happen. We gotta defeat her. What do you ask about? The push I got, I guess. By facing our own shadows on that side, we awaken to our persona's abilities. Indeed. However, that did not apply to Renegade Senpai, which is something I said at the beginning of the game. Yeah, even before all this persona stuff, Renegade could stick his hand into a TV. Indeed. I guess that sort of banks Izanami's claim that she personally awakened his power. Backs Izanami's claim. Indeed. Same holds true for Namatame and Adachi. She selected 3 outsiders to bestow powers upon and watched what would transpire from there. So something I want to bring up is that I've heard Persona 4 Golden added some extra stuff that explains some stuff that wasn't explained in Persona 4 the original. Is this what it was? Is this whole Izanami thing that extra stuff that wasn't explained? Because I don't know. I almost would have preferred it if it wasn't explained. Again, I like explanations. I like learning things. But when the explanation just seems dumb or forced, then I'm like, just leave it unexplained. Would I have wondered why it was me, Namatame, and Adachi that got our powers? Yes. But when you find out the answer and it's just kind of dumb, it just leaves you going, I wish I didn't know. Well, now we gotta know all that. Now that we know all this, we just gotta beat the hell out of Izanami. Of course, I'm still glad I played the Golden version. If only because of Chie's voice acting. Let's hurry and get this over with. Renegade's going back home tomorrow. Alright, Midnight Channel. The rumors about the Midnight Channel. The gas station attendant must have started them. Izanami. Maybe this Izanami was the one who originally spread them. Neither Amano-san nor the Shadows have taken a single step outside the other world. Although Teddy has. You know, actually, that's a wasted concept. Teddy's taken a step outside the other world. Teddy's a shadow, and when Teddy came into this world, he got a human form. What if another evil shadow got sentientness, but instead of going good like Teddy, they stayed evil, came here and actually got a human form, and was able to disguise themselves? That's a plot they could have done that would have actually had a twist, and it could have been a supernatural being, but they never did it. Wasted a perfectly good plot. Simply put, the only one who could have spread the rumor was someone who had come from there. Or someone who saw the channel, just happened to watch it, because that's usually how rumors start. The more it got passed around, the more extra junk got added to it. Like one big game of telephone. True. But you know who finally enough never seemed to realize? People like Ojima. I mean, you think they would have realized the connection if they saw it, and yet the police never noticed? That's where all that you have to watch it alone, and the ones who appears your soulmate stuff came from. Indeed. And it also makes me wonder, okay, so wait, it started with the announcer, right? That was where it started? Which means when the gas station attendant was spreading it around, that was before it actually started. And then people happened to check it out when they saw What's-Her-Face, I guess. I suppose that's when it... So it started shortly before we arrived, I suppose? I guess. Actually, something I remembered is, as I was editing one of the early videos, the first time I ever really complained about not telling the cops when we were sitting around at the table, it was me, Yosuke, and Chie, and I think Yukio was there as well. And Adachi walked by, and I saw a good bit of foreshadowing there. Because when Adachi first walked in, it's like, I thought this town was going to be boring, but this is something interesting. And, you know, that's like a kind of, you can wave it aside kind of thing. But, you know, watching it again, I'm like, yeah, he was talking about how he'd been meddling and having fun. But anyways, I thought I'd bring that up. Some nice bit of foreshadowing. So that does exist in this game, and I like that. And yeah, Adachi is one of my favorite things about this game, but, yeah. Since it took place on a TV, we never considered the possibility. You can't look back on this game, on this dialogue. That's dumb. You can't press select here. That's dumb. That the images broadcast on the Midnight Channel could vary from viewer to viewer. Oh, could they? Did they vary? But whenever we talked about what we saw afterwards, there were never any inconsistencies. Oh yeah, exactly. We did always see the same stuff. What were there ever differences? If there were differences, this is another wasted concept. What changed according to each person was not likely the image's clarity. Uh-huh. Yeah, I can think of a few places where that might have happened. Oh, wait, what? Did you say it was the person's again, I can't look back at the dialogue. You can't press select here. When Saki-senpai appeared, I was the first one who was positive it was her. I suppose. For Yukiko, it was Chie. For Kanji, it was Yukiko that said who the person on the TV was. To be fair, we were all closest to them, so maybe we just noticed it, but I suppose clarity could be a thing. I thought because each of us had a strong attachment to the victims, we linked the TV image to them in our head. I think that would be what it is, right? I bet that we actually saw a clearer image on the TV than everyone else. I suppose. The same could probably be said for Namatame. That's why he was always a step ahead of us. I thought it was because he knew the area well as a delivery man, but I was stymied at how fast he identified Nanako-chan. Really? Because I didn't realize it super quickly, but I was... yeah. Since he was a savior, he must have been Nanako-chan. See Nanako-chan's image from the very beginning. Alright, but who cares about the details? The player does. Ready guy Senpai is leaving tomorrow, right? Should we really be wasting time like this? Yeah, he's right. Let's hurry and defeat this Izanami. Yeah, just fight the boss, beat it, save the day. There was no even cool reveal. They're arguably even a character. Go in, I guess. Check the weather report. Does it matter? Weather report? Let's see. Does it matter? Go ahead and ask anytime, Senpai. I don't think it matters. Enter the TV.
I'm sure we'll be alright if we work together.
I suppose. Okay, is this a boss fight? I'm not even in the mood for a boss anymore. I kind of hope it's a dungeon, so I have a good excuse to stop. Because if it's a boss, I could probably do it in the time I have, but I don't want to try.
I sense a tremendous presence. It's unlike anything we had faced.
Again, you've been saying that a lot recently. It's unlike anything. It's the new biggest, baddest. It's behind everything.
And it seems like a new area has formed.
Please don't tell me it's a dungeon. Please tell me it's just a boss. I mean, either way, I'll do it, but I don't want to do it now. Either way, also, so.
I bet it's that lady. She's waiting for us there.
Okay.
That reminds me. That Amino something we beat said stuff like, "We'll meet again."
Are we gonna get a boss rush? That'd be cool, actually.
If that thing's gonna show up again, let's crush him completely so he can't cause any more problems from here on out.
Maybe we're gonna get a boss rush.
Damn straight.
That would be cool. I would not mind a boss rush.
Let's go snap that thing in two. We'll do it and give Senpai a big farewell tomorrow.
Bigger than the one we got in the normal ending? I hope so. I want to get a bigger, better, awesomer ending. Because that was kind of just, okay, it's over sort of thing.
Let's do our best like always, leader.
Uh-huh.
It is kind of sad that this really is going to be the last time we do something like this.
Again, this is the kind of thing where we're having way too much fun in a place where we could fucking die facing these shadows. They're evil things, and we're just enjoying it. And there's some stuff to that, and characters have admitted through the course, oh yeah, we are kind of selfish, but it's just doesn't change the fact they are. They can admit it a couple times, and they actually have. A couple times it has happened. I remember Rise was once like, oh, Dachi is kind of right that we're kind of selfish jerks, but we're still doing it. But it's like, I don't know, it feels wrong when they're like, oh, it feels so bad that we can have fun with this, sure, but it doesn't mean we should be meddlesome and not tell people.
You know, this might sound like a weird thing to say, but it was a lot of fun.
I actually preferred the social linking. The gameplay honestly got a bit stale. The music never changed after a while, got really stale. The gameplay got kind of repetitive because it was just kind of the same thing. There wasn't as much depth as there is in at least the one I've played, Soul Hackers. There's no front and back, there's no mixing, matching minions. So it got kind of repetitive in my opinion, but
That's because we all strove together toward a common goal.
Probably what my favorite fight so far in the game was that fight where we had to fight a bunch of people who kept resummoning each other, and it was kind of a pain, but it was actually involved strategy. I like that. I remember saying I liked that, but yeah, since then there hasn't been, since then and before then for a while, not as many fun fights.
There were many things we believed in without questioning them.
Yep, we're a bunch of idiots.
The culprit's identity, their motives. There were many occasions where we nearly gave up.
And there were many occasions where we latched onto something and we're like, yes, this is true, we can't question it. And you know what would have helped with not giving up?
It may have been easier if we'd chosen to look the other way, but we didn't.
You know what would have made it easier? Telling people! Telling them. Yes. And then you probably would have had a bit of a plot thing about Dojima wanting you to not help, and then you would have been like, no, we're shonen characters, so maybe we'd sneak out and do it ourselves, and Dojima would get a bit mad at us at first for actually doing it when they should leave it to the police, but then finally settle on, okay, you're kind of grown up. If you really want to help us with this, fine. But again, help us, not do it your fucking selves. Again, that's the kind of plot where I've seen it over and over again in other places. Well, that's because it's the kind of thing where if you're going to make a story like this, you kind of need something like that. Because it would be weird if Dojima was just like, okay, now you can, now of course you can continue to help us. He would have almost certainly said, all right, you leave this to us now. And then we would have been like, okay, we'll do it, we're going to do it whether you say so or not. We would have been a bit unresponsible. And again, I've seen that before. But the reason something like that happens a lot is because you kind of need it in a story like this, and it works, and they didn't do it.
Even if we had to fight every inch of our way.
Uh-huh. You haven't fought much, Yosuke. You haven't done anything except in bonus dungeon in repeat visits recently.
I want to go on feeling, seeing, touching, and thinking for myself.
That sounds a bit weird.
Yeah. Still, one person alone can only understand so much.
Which is why the more people that know, the more easier it is. I don't know. I'm sorry that I'm ranting about this now all of a sudden, but, you know, now that it's like the end of the game, I gotta get this all out. I know I got it out in the credits, but I gotta say it again. It's so fucking dumb.
That's why we're all here together.
We're all in this tech. Oh my god, why do I still have that song in my head?
Right. All for one and one for all.
Great.
So long as someone's got your back, you can kick against the pricks no matter how tough they are.
Uh-huh.
This is for our future.
Yay! I really wish I could be more excited about this.
So we can see him off tomorrow with no regrets.
I'm excited for the cutscene that comes after it. That's what I'm excited for. I wonder what kind of big party they're gonna have.
Ew.
What?
Yosuke always has to try to make himself look all cool.
That's your problem, Teddy. You're the one who tries to make yourself look cool when you're not cool. I mean, I bitch at Yosuke, but Teddy's worse.
But he's so pathetic, it makes my skin crawl.
If anybody else said that, I would agree with them, but Teddy, you don't have the right.
Probably just fleas on your ratty old suit. I spilled juice on you earlier.
I do like that they kind of hate on each other. It's funny.
No wonder I smell of orangey freshness.
Ah, he takes it in stride.
Well then, let's do this.
Yay! Can you tell how much I care? This will be the last time I help you catch the bad guy. Sensei, good luck! Make a quick save spot now that we've been through all that. Let's just make it here. Any extra stuff I can make last minute? Sometimes games let you do that. Like, last minute, here's this crazy, awesome Omega thing. Wait, is this new? No. This isn't new. We've seen this before. This is just same kind of, same old, same old. Alright, let's just, I want to find out if this is a dungeon or a boss, but I'm just going to say this right now. I'll see you guys next time on Let's Play Persona 4 Golden Blind. In case I end up ending it abruptly, because I probably will have to, but I want to see if this is a dungeon or a boss. Where are we going? This will really be the end for sure. Don't worry, if anyone can do this, it's us. Can I go to the other TV? Is it, like, not goable to? Search for Izanami. Let's go, everyone. Is this boss or dungeon? I just want to find that out before I stop. Chie. Give it our best shot, yes. Who actually do I want? Do I want to bring in Kanji? Because I've been alternating, and Yukiko got the last one. Kanji's even higher level. It is a dungeon. At least we get the costumes.